Wrestling fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to the Wrestling Junkeez podcast. I am back as always with my host, Uncle Cal, Chris Priest. I am Rockstar.
I'm gonna get a new intro for my name, man. I'm like, this is really
It's
killing me.
always going to be Chris.
Gotta be Chris.
Until he gets released from the company, you're going to need Chris Priest at least.
Well, I'm gonna have to be fucking a Karen because I'm gonna start writing letters to that fucking company every week.
Doesn't look like he's going anywhere anytime soon, sir.
Did he resign?
I mean, he's been featured heavily on TV.
Can't win a title though.
No? Does he need to, though, right now anymore?
No, we don't need him. We don't need him to win.
He's eventually gonna win one.
He will. Give it a few more years. He'll be another champion. But that'll probably be it.
I think Chris chasing the fucking Damian Priest out the company.
Well, let's start off with the moment that has everyone talking. Goldberg has returned to the WWE.
Oldberg.
I like that one.
Oldberg. Where do we even start on that one? Like,
WCW is dead. Give it up.
it's fucking crazy, bro. It's crazy because they kind of like threw a whole monkey wrench in the river with that one, right? Like they just the fact that they had to like integrate him into into any sort of TV time and just interrupted so many fucking stories. It's like, it's rumored that isn't this like his last match, right? It's supposed to be like his last thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
His fucking run. It should have been his last run with Saudi Arabia, like with Undertaker and Kane. I was like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
No, that was the last one with Kane, with Undertaker. That should have been his last run.
Yeah.
He almost fucking killed him. Yeah.
He botched the jackhammer.
Jackhammer almost killed Undertaker, bro. Like, what the fuck? But then they say he had like concussed or some shit like prior to that. I think like the jackhammer.
When he went into the pole, right? Tried to spear him.
But even then, I don't even think he had no, because Taker was huge. I don't think he had no business trying to jackhammer Taker. You got him in there with Gunther. You think Gunther's gonna try to take a jackhammer?
Goldberg's only had 5 matches in the last 4 to 5 years. And out of 5 matches, he's won 1.
Ziggler?
Now against Bobby Lashley, who's no longer with the company.
He beat Ziggler.
Trying to hang it up.
Was that?
He beat Ziggler as well, right? That was within the last 5 years as well.
Was it within the last 4 to 5 years? Goldberg? Ziggler?
Yeah.
So
That was a 2-minute match. He speared him and fucking jackhammer, and that was it.
I believe that was in 2021, I want to say.
I remember that.
Yeah, like he beat Ziggler.
Ziggler sold that spear like no other.
He did. He sold the shit out of that spear.
He fucking killed them.
I was like,
It almost looked like that speed spear when Braun
breaker. You know what? That fucking spear showed me, bro, he has no problem murdering somebody. Like, none whatsoever. I was like, fucking Braun Breaker has no problem just like putting somebody down. He did too.
No. But what sucks about it is, you know how much heat the company's getting right now because of Jey Uso? I mean, I get it. Gunther, Goldberg's a bigger draw. But how do you take the belt? I mean, to me, he's doing fine. He has a good run. He has the fans backing him. He has definitely the promo skills to back it up. Why strip him?
They needed the belt for the program. Because there was Gunther versus Goldberg is not really much of like, I don't think it's going to have any sort of appeal to it without that belt. You know what I mean?
The whole thing is it's a Saturday
No
night.
disrespect to Gunther, huh?
It's a Saturday night main event, so you know they're always gonna fucking stack that with something. some type of nostalgia or some type of big match, some type of big time thing. Like the last one we got, what? Cena and Killings? Cena and Truth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, it's kind of like a big time match. Even though it was only 4 minutes, it's John Cena on his fucking farewell tour. So it's another farewell of Goldberg is the last match. And that's the appeal for Saturday Night Main Event.
It seems almost like Saturday Night Main Events were like one of those shows now that they just want to get certain shit out the way.
It's a nostalgia.
Yeah, like it's definitely nostalgia. It's a spectacle. I don't even think a lot of that shit's canon. Like it's not kind of like how like all of the Saudi Arabia shows were. Like it's not even just like a special event type shit.
It's like Andre the Giant. He would come out, hey, once every other year, make his appearance and go back. Goldberg should have stayed in 1999. I hate to say it.
Damn, Jesus.
He can't work. Do you remember the match with him and Regal?
Yes.
Oh, and Regal
exposed him. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that on real.
That was kind of fucked up.
It was a good eye opener to the company and others.
But at the same time, bro, that's a problem. Like when you got people that go completely off script like that. Regal was known for
He didn't go off script, though. He didn't go off script. He's gone on record. He was told to go out there and have a competitive match with Goldberg. He did what he could.
Do you believe that, though?
I do. I do believe it. I don't believe he shot on him. I don't believe he went off script. I don't believe he went out there trying to expose him. But I think he just essentially did, period. Regal did what Regal does. He wrestled. Right. And Goldberg just couldn't keep up.
Well, Goldberg was clearly still green at that point. Like, I don't think there's going to be like a competitive match with Regal. You know what I mean?
Well, it shouldn't be a competitive match. Fuck no. But so for what management supposedly told Regal go out there and have a competitive match with the cat.
I don't know, man. I think Regal. I love me some work. I love Regal, bro. I love Regal, but I don't know, man. Regal was. I just don't believe it. I really don't. Because how can you have a competitive match with a guy that's like that green? And at the same exact time, it's just one of those things. I feel as though like you got guys that go out there sometimes and they just go out there to try to sabotage somebody.
Yeah.
And like, I think that was definitely one of those situations where he just like kind of like went in there because a lot of people was pissed about Goldberg's fucking push, bro. A lot of people were pissed about that push. So,
yeah, it could be because Regal was exactly in the best state of mind back then.
Right, and I wasn't gonna try to air him out like that because that's like
has a lot.
Hey, at the Wrestling Junkeez, we talk shit. Let it all out. Like it being priest.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I'm just kind of on that one because, like, I don't think there's no way he could have had a competitive match unless Regal called it completely.
Yeah,
but it didn't even look like he tried to call the match completely. It just looked like he just tried to out wrestle him. Period. Like, so I'm like, yeah, Regal definitely went into business for himself because they fired him right after that.
Yeah,
they fired him, so there was no way, like, you know what I mean? That he was supposed to go in there and have a competitive. You know what I mean? I think Regal's kind of like, in a way, trying to save face a little bit.
Yeah. This whole thing just feels lazy as shit, though.
It does.
Goldberg just comes out. They give a mention of what happened a few months ago, which actually, in case, was almost a goddamn year ago. Wasn't it just a few months ago? I mean, this shit was affecting Bad Blood, right? Last year. Come on. But Goldberg just comes out, says, "Hey, you said some mean things about me a couple months ago, and now you're next."
Mm-hmm.
And what, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 12 minutes later, we got a graphic. Hey, we got a championship match, a Saturday Night Main Event. Like, what?
No build up, nothing.
Sell his soul to The Rock to get a title match. He had to go into the Royal Rumble. He had to go into the Elimination Chamber. This is John Cena. And Goldberg just gets to come in, walk in, and get a title match right away with Gunther?
I think it's just like the justification of that is like, okay, like AEW had put Sting over for a while. So, but it's just like, okay, like, I'm like, wait a minute, but I don't, as far as I'm concerned, I don't remember. I could be a little, whatever, probably forgot about. I don't think Sting ever had any title shots, like any world title shots when he was with AEW, though, right?
Zero. Only
he was a tag team, right? He was a tag team wrestler, pretty much. He had like maybe a couple of singles, but nothing like too spectacular.
He had a one single match. He never had
He never had
it. And triple threats and stuff.
Well, he's older than shit too. I mean, he can't go like he used to. I hate to say it.
Right. So I think like that was like that's a lot of people's arguments and whatever. And I'm like, I don't think this is totally different, bro. This is definitely totally different. I'm like, this shit with Goldberg kind of like, I don't want to say it definitely interrupts the flow with the things they got going on. You know what I mean? But like, I think they're gonna try their best to kind of like, okay, let's give him his final match, whatever the case may be, get him out the way, and just try to go to back to regularly scheduled programming or whatever the case may be. But
when is Saturday night main event?
July.
I think it's like, is it like next week, right? No.
July the 12th, I believe.
So we could possibly have a swerve in there.
Was that?
We could possibly have a swerve in there.
A swerve in there?
Jey Uso gets the title back, and now it's Jey Uso versus Goldberg for the title. Shit's happened before where we thought Ron Killings was let go of the company.
Well,
Who called that?
The King of the Ring.
That wasn't a work. I don't give a fuck what Nat said. Like,
I called that shit. I was like, wait a minute, he'll be back. I really thought he was going to TNA, but yeah, he was back. Mark my word. Today is June 17th. Uso gets the title back, and it is Goldberg versus Jey Uso, and that will be the new main event.
okay.
Especially with Jay in the King of the Ring tournament. Like, that's his spot now. He got that little, hey, you lost the title. Let's pat you on the head. You can be in the tournament now.
It's interesting because they got the Cody versus Jey Uso match.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So we're going to get into all that later. I want to stick with this Goldberg topic here. So this is going to be a big topic right now for people. I mean, Goldberg, he's been gone for a year and a half, so an active competitor.
Right.
Somewhat. So, I mean, Goldberg coming back, it almost feels like Gunther's just getting the short end of the stick this year.
Go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, he had the title. He lost the title at Mania to Jay. There was no real follow-up to that. He had the match with an announcer, Pat McAfee. As much as I like McAfee, he can't go anymore. He's not like the old McAfee of NXT days where, he can bust out these Canadian destroyers and he can actually have a decent match with somebody who can kind of carry him like an Adam Cole, I don't necessarily think the match with McAfee was anything special. I don't think it did anything from Gunther either. I don't think it elevated anything. Honestly, it was just kind of a throwaway.
Filler. Looked like filler. Probably like showcasing.
Gunther comes and wins the title back. Great. And then Goldberg.
No build-up whatsoever.
Yeah.
No.
It's just sloppy booking. I hate to say it. I mean,
and it's
rumor
crazy.
is that Triple H had obviously he's head of creative, but they're saying TKO really pushed for this.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Like that, like in the sense that we all know WWE's has been like fucking corporate as shit. Like since like, you know what I mean? I want to say since late last year. I don't even want to say since the beginning. They ramped it up definitely since they went to Netflix with Raw. But like I think like they're more about the attraction and the appeal than anything that has to do with like at this point with storytelling. I think there's maybe a few stories that are kind of salvaged, you know what I mean? Maybe. And it almost looks as though I don't know if they're veering away from like the whole Jade Cargill Naomi thing. But like I don't know. It's just I'm thinking maybe they have some sort of stories that are salvageable. Like, but it definitely seemed like this year may just be all about Cena right now. Like, you know what I mean? That's what it seems like. Like, how many different stories we can, integrate in this year for him? Like, so have him facing the top guys or whatever the case may be. Like, and I still think at some point there has to be like a Roman Reigns match in there somewhere, but I don't know, man. Like it's this year's been sloppy, bro. This year's definitely been very, very sloppy. And this is gonna come off as like, I know there's a lot of, biased fans out there, like, bro, but we're just calling it, calling a spade, bro. Like this is definitely a lot of sloppy booking. Like it's the truth, bro. Like I mean, like hopefully,
right.
hopefully going into the summer, bro, we have something a little different. But
what this feels like? It feels like a Vince McMahon thing.
I was about to say that. You beat me to the punch. You know how many times he would change
It's
it?
written all
Last minute, like, you know what? Let's just do this. Last minute changes. And that's exactly what it feels like.
3-week storylines and shit, like just to get ready for a pay-per-view or whatever. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's definitely lazy booking. Like, and it's unfortunate that they took a dip this low. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't personally, like I said, we don't know what's gonna happen come Monday. We don't know what's gonna happen come Friday. You know, we can be hopeful that the product does get a little better going into Night of Champions, because it just seems like Night of Champions card was just kind of just thrown together. I don't know if that's just me. Like, it just seems like it's just thrown together. Like, you know, you got the whole, you know, you got Punk and Cena, which is, of course, is going to draw. You know what I mean? But I just think, honest and truly, this is one of those cases where they have so much star power, like I said before, that they're more reliant on that than any sort of like quality like stories. Like, you know what I mean?
Because you think about it, go back to the golden era. Hogan, Warrior, Macho Man.
Mhm.
Come the new generation, Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, Diesel, Shawn Michaels, Attitude Era. I mean, you can keep going and going and going. This is the first time there's too much star power on the roster. Everybody's a main event.
It's crazy. They have
It's just an overload of stories. There's so much talent. Not everyone can get that 10, 20 minutes of camera time anymore. It's just too much going on. Look at, they try to build up the Wyatt Six again. They're not doing anything again. They had their little spark and they got downed again.
It's just, I don't know, man. Like I said, I think personally, another problem that they have, it almost seems as with I mean, like, you have a point with the Wyatt Six thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Them pretty much doing a restart with the Wyatt 6 and everything. But they have been using the same exact talent for like the last 3 years inside of the same exact positions. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there hasn't been anything being rotated out or whatever. I mean, they've had a couple of instances, like I think like with the whole Braun Breaker and why am I Bronson Reed? You know what I mean? And maybe a few others that's being like kind of like integrated in certain like, you know, storylines to be pushed up a little higher. But I just, I don't know. They've been like, they think about how long, like, you know, as good as the Bloodline storyline was, it's like they milked that thing for as long as they possibly. Is it possible because like they didn't really have anything creatively after that, or they couldn't meet expectations after that? Because like trying to maintain that sort of momentum was going to be hard as fuck. And I said that back in October. Like, you know, they're on a boom. It's a boom period. It clearly was a boom period for them. So I don't know, man. I just, after that, it just kind of like shit the bed a little bit. Like, but the Goldberg thing is, I'm just not a fan of it. I can't even begin to like be hopeful of it because I know it's going to be terrible. Like, I know, like Gunther. Hopefully, Gunther carries it enough to make it. You know what I mean? Because Gunther's so good.
Do you think it could at least serve as somewhat of a rub for Gunther? I mean, you beat Goldberg. Goldberg is a name still. He's still got a big pop, regardless of you know, it's nostalgia. It's Goldberg. He really can't work anymore. That's pretty clear from just watching him limp to the ring, and he struggled to get up on that second rope.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. This is what I'm saying. Didn't he have like a knee injury going like while he was training? He had
while he was training. Yep.
It
was supposed to take place a year ago, but he injured himself training.
There's a little bit of footage of him getting out of the ring, and he hopped down and kind of did a little, you know, extra little hop with that knee. So I don't know. He's not going to be able to do a whole lot. I'd be surprised to be able to get a jackhammer off.
What do you think that match is a squash match?
For Goldberg?
Yep, I say run Spears Gunther, jackhammers him, match is over within 10 seconds.
Well, it is a title match.
Yep, and then guess what? You build up that next match. Hopefully you give him about what's the next pay-per-view event? What is it? Survivor Series? What is it? SummerSlam. He gets his title shot again, gives him about that 2-month period to work out again, and then they build up that match.
So we're just going to lose the world title for 2 months? I mean, we're already missing the WWE world title for Cena, so we're just going to have the hostage title for another 2 months with Goldberg?
I think so. I hate to say it, but
Well, at least another month. At least another month ago. Because
if they want Goldberg to win it, have a feel good moment. Hey, you won the title on your last fucking your last match. Have Seth come in and fucking cash in.
Yes.
Don't keep the Goldberg.
Yes.
Don't take the title on Goldberg. If that's what
I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
If that's the route they want to go, to give a feel good moment for Goldberg, fine. But don't keep
I agree with that. I think at this point, like, you know, even if Goldberg does win, it'd be a great way to like transition the title over to Seth.
Yeah.
And at least try to salvage like the show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because they do have a decent thing going on with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman and the crew, but it's just like one of those things where it's like, okay, like I think Seth at this point, it would make a lot more sense and then have like Jey Uso chase him down maybe, or like, you know.
Yeah.
But that makes perfect sense. I have no rebuttal for that one. Like, just having Seth just cash in and just like get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, you know, I hate to sound like kind of like whatever about it, but it's just no, like, because they're already kind of like in limbo enough, like, and then like just throwing Goldberg into the scene, it just, you know, I don't hate Goldberg. It just doesn't make any sense right now to do so. It definitely seemed like something that's just thrown together, honest and truly. Has no substance to it. Has no substance to it whatsoever.
This is the reason why. Because that's the reason. Because they can.
That was a good fucking explanation. I'm sitting here waiting to hear you kick knowledge. He said fucking because.
Because that's it. Just because they can. That's it.
That's all it is. It's just
they got the power. We're the ones sitting here talking about it while other podcasts are talking about it right now. That's true. They have the power.
Let's move on.
Well,
let's get on to 1999.
We gave him 20 minutes, bro. We gave Goldberg 20 minutes.
Hey.
Shit, that's gonna be longer than the match he goes in with Gunther. I guarantee that.
Well, let's segue over to something. We did mention Seth Rollins. I want to segue over to LA Knight. LA Knight's starting a little something with Seth Rollins, and it does seem like they are attempting to put him into that main event status. They are definitely attempting it.
I like it.
He has that draw power. He's fucking working the crowd like nobody else right now.
I like it. I think with the whole thing with him, and I think I called that a long time ago too, with LA Knight. Like, it's time, bro. It's time. Like, at this point, it's, you know, when you kind of got that whole thing with LA Knight kind of versus what the hell is this crew called? Look.
We don't have a name for it yet.
Seth's crew.
Funny. They said it, like they had a little teaser one time, and they called it his Paul Heyman's Dangerous New Alliance. And I was like,
yeah,
it's perfect DNA. It's in their DNA, the Dangerous New Alliance. Okay. I doubt they'll go with that, but I was like, dude, that's a fucking perfect thing. Why didn't you go with that?
I like it. I like what they're doing with LA Knight right now and Seth's crew and everything like that. So
he's still getting the reactions from the crowds. He's not losing crowd support. It's just, I don't know. The WWE doesn't trust him for whatever reason to get him into that spot. Maybe they do now. I mean, maybe this is his time. Hopefully he can shine and he can prove them like, hey, I deserve to be in this spot. Regardless,
he's always been a big talent, right? He was in NWA and TNA, right?
TNA and stuff like that. Yeah. He was always really good, bro. Eli Drake and shit like that. But like, there's rumors saying that there's a lot of heat on him right now. Like,
for what?
I think that he's known as one of these guys that just want to, like, I guess they saying like he really does like to get all his stuff in, like in wrestling matches, and also being like, I guess like I don't want to say he's rebellious in a way, but like he, you know what I mean? Like he's one of those guys that just rubs people the wrong way. I think sometimes, like, so there is heat on him. From what I'm hearing, I don't know. Right, I don't know if it's true or not, but that there's rumors about that, and I've seen it on a few different sources. So I'm like, I don't know if it's actually true or not, but like, hence the reason why he did not win Money in the Bank. You know what I mean? Like, and stuff like that. And I don't know. I like LA Knight. If this is their way of writing him into the main event scene, I think it's needed. I think someone else needs to move up into the mid card scene where he's currently placed at. You know what I mean? So I think it's time for LA Knight, bro. I truly believe that. I think it's his time, bro. I do.
Do you see him with the world title or the WWE?
Either. Like I think.
Either.
I think right now it'd be cool to have him as maybe the world heavyweight champion. You know what I mean? Like but it's time. It's time. And maybe you can do the program with Cena, and they look like they teased some stuff with that. You know what I mean? Like when he went out there and started talking mess with all of them. Like, but I definitely
called him a bald-headed Cena.
but that goes back. Like I was talking to Brock about Braun Breaker. You know what I mean? Like in a sense, like being able to work the mic. I was like, he's decent, but he's not. I don't think like if you even the thing about it is with a lot of those guys in the main event is they can talk. Like they, you know what I mean? They can talk. They can cut promos, this, that, and the third. And as great as a worker Braun is, like I don't think like if he even, and I use the example of like if you even had him go up against LA Knight on the stick, LA Knight would absolutely fucking destroy him. Like you know what I mean? So, but the fact that LA Knight, I do believe, can hold his own with a Cena. He can hold his own with a Punk. He can hold his own with all of these guys, with Seth Rollins and all of these guys that are in the main event right now. So I think it's time. He sticks out like a sore thumb, bro, in the mid-con. So yeah, man. Shout out to LA Knight. If this is their way of like writing him in, like I said, to the main event, it's perfect. It's perfect.
I like how you stick out like a sore thumb. That's exactly what he said on Friday. I like a sore thumb right here. I don't belong in this group.
Yeah. But I would love to see him go bar for bar with Cena. I think Cena would chew him up though. But like it'd be good to see though. Depending. I ain't gonna count LA Knight out though, bro. I think like
you gotta think how many other guys started mid card and worked their way up by sticking out, you know? Look at Cena. What was his original 2000 or 3000? What was his character's name? Before that, when he first came in with his
prototype?
The prototype. Yeah.
Started freestyle, look where it took him.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about it was Stephanie heard him on a bus, bro. Like just shooing people on the back of the bus.
He was flowing with fucking Stephanie and talking about a tuna can. And look where it set him up.
But that's cool though, right? I think like just one more thing. Like I think like when it comes to like a lot of people like that complain about pro wrestlers getting pushed and everything like that, like people gotta understand like timing is everything. You know what I mean? Like I don't think you just thrust somebody into a certain position. Because what it does is we have issues that we see right now, like with the whole Goldberg situation, where you have almost no substance or no reason for having this person in that position in the first place. You know what I mean? So I do think like the timing of LA Knight possibly being pushed into the main event position right now it makes perfect sense to do it because there is window to do it now. You know what I mean?
It's his time. It's his
right,
time.
and it's just
he's been in the company for how many years?
He's been with them what, like maybe like 5 years, 4 or 5 years, I think right now.
It's about time. I mean, it's definitely his time to get pushed.
Yeah, because he was with them during the pandemic era, wasn't he?
NXT. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I think he started like just a little bit before pandemic era. Because I do remember like I watched him on NWA Power right before he came to WWE.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch a little bit of NWA. Been hopeful of it.
I don't know. I haven't watched NWA for a long, long time. I kind of got a little boring for a while there.
They had the little the coke angle and everything like that.
It came back. It was really cool, really nostalgia. You know, something different. Yeah. And then they started losing star power. That's what it was. They started losing star power, and it just kind of got uninteresting. I'll have to check it out again.
Sounds like AEW.
Damn.
WWE. So TNA. TNA's losing a lot of star power right now too.
Yeah.
They're just they're pillaging TNA right now, bro. Like
speaking of TNA, Joe Henry is getting buried by everybody.
God.
That dude's a gimmick. Like I've never Yo, shout out to Joe Hendry. He found his way to get like $1 million or whatever.
He'll never have a title ever again, I think.
Bro, they just capitalized on something that was hard.
They played his music in Spanish and he lost. Like that's fucked up. Like the dude had fucking star power. Now he's just a gimmick.
But that's the thing, right? Like he understood he had his 15 minutes.
Wow.
Like, you know what I mean? So it just was kind of like, how much longer can you spin around and make this face, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was clearly like a meme. It was clearly a meme. And he capitalized on it. I'm never going to be mad at anybody that found a way to get themselves over. You know what I mean? Like, he found a way to get himself over, and it worked out for him. He's been in the business for a while. You know what I mean? And it finally worked out for him. You know, shout out to Joe Hendry. But I'm the goofy shit. Like, I'm not. Some people was with it. Some people love it, bro. So I don't know.
Position being so far down the card now, and everyone's essentially forgotten about him. Do you think the hype from WWE is over? Do you think they're still going to want him? Because they were really looking for him, you know, for Rumble, in the Mania match, you know.
I mean, you could
after he got 2 RKOs, that was it. Randy made him look dumb.
Yo, he got 2 RKOs, right? But the thing about I would have thought they would have gave him somewhat. He would have got the rub, and maybe TNA could have capitalized on that. But they was like, nah, we're taking the title off of him. Like, give it to fucking Trick Williams. You know what I'm saying? Give it to a guy that doesn't even belong to our company. Like, but yeah, I think with Joe Hendry though, like Joe Hendry's still salvageable. I don't think there's nothing wrong with him. Like in a sense, like if he went, like say if he goes to NXT, let's say for the sake of saying he goes to, I think he'll be thrusted into that the main event in NXT. You know what I mean? Like because he will bring more eyes to that product. You know, there's people that still like to wave their hands side to side and shit like that. You know, so whatever like helps, you know, fan participation and stuff like that, and you know, get people going. You know, I'm with it. You know what I mean? Like I'm with it.
Do you think they would just still pick him up just for the fuck of it? Just like, hey,
yeah, of course he has some juice. He has some juice left. Like he got some juice left. You know what I mean? You could make him NXT champion at some point. Like, honestly, you really could. Like. Because he could be definitely the underdog. Like, say if Obafemi's still champion. You know what I mean? He can definitely play that underdog role. And it would.
He reminds me of Eugene, the character Eugene. we all laughed at him. We all cheered for him, but he ain't doing shit.
The underdog character, the sympathetic baby face.
Yep, exactly.
Man, what do you guys think about Sammy, bro? Do you think it's Sammy's year? That's I do think that's cool about it, like the King of the Ring and shit. Even though it's terrible as their booking's been, like
I want Sammy, but it really doesn't. Like you got Cody and you got Orton. Like all signs point to Cody and Orton in the finals. It's unfortunate.
I don't see Orton winning it.
I don't either. I see Cody winning it. And he'll be.
Are they giving a title shot to the winner?
One title slot at SummerSlam. So yeah, Cody's in SummerSlam.
He's winning.
You think Cody's winning?
They have to put that title back on him.
Yeah.
That guy is Mr. TKO. He's not WWE. He's Mr. TKO.
You're not lying either. Like the crazy thing about did any one of you see like his podcast with like Damian Priest? Chris probably didn't want to watch.
No, I missed that one. I'm glad.
Like, bro. I don't know, like maybe Cody is a bit of a narcissist, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like he loves to fucking talk about himself. I'm like, holy shit! Like he loves. And then it was like they went into a whole thing, but I think Damian was talking about about how like some people he don't understand how some people don't like you, like don't like Cody or whatever. I'm like, I can definitely see why a lot of motherfuckers don't like him because like like it's the majority of the time he cut Priest off most of the interview and he just talked about himself. He's like then I think like he was talking about Priest's documentary and everything like that, and he just was like, he said they gave you a documentary when this, that, and the third. He said they never did it for me. Priest just was like, bro, you got fucking pyro, like it's like you got pyro. He's like, they gave you a documentary. He's like, yeah, they gave you like a whole premiere, like for your documentary and everything. He's like, bro, they gave you fucking pyro. He was like, that's fit. He's like, all right, that is fair. Like, I'm like, he just kept like me the whole time, and I'm like,
no shit. I gotta check that out.
Bro, just tell me if I'm wrong. Please just watch it. I know you got a thing against. Just watch it, bro. I know. I'm like, yo, he is just meing all the time. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, bro? Maybe Cena was right or whatever the case may be. The fucking neck tattoo shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, Cody has like one of the biggest egos, like in pro wrestling or whatever the case may be. I'm like, golly,
Do you think they're building for that Cody Rhodes heel character?
Could be.
I think he needs to become a heel.
But then, like I said, like you creatively, it has to make sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It would definitely have to make sense. You would have to move around like certain parts, and timing is a thing. Like, you know what I mean? Especially in pro wrestling. You know,
How many times have we seen the good guy couldn't do it anymore and became the bad guy? We saw it with Roman.
I mean, you
We
got the
saw it with
perfect
Seth.
right. You have the perfect, like, you know, baby face and Jey Uso to kind of like chase him down or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But what would happen, like, if you turn? Let's say for the sake of Sam, just for example, and hypothetically, they say at SummerSlam he gets the title shot. Let's say Cody wins, right? The entire King of the Ring, he gets the title shot. He goes on to SummerSlam. He faces Cena. Do a possible double turn happens? Because that's the only way I think that you can actually turn Cody. It was a possible double. You would have to turn Cena baby, right?
Yeah.
At that point, because you have to keep the balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be overflux with heels and everything like that. And then if you do that, let's say if you do keep Cena as a heel and you do keep Cody as a heel, now you got to move somebody up. You got to find a way to like write somebody into the main event now that could be a baby face.
Place that face, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you would possibly have Cena turn baby at that point, and then maybe have Jey Uso chase him, since they have the whole friendship thing going on, right?
Yeah.
That'd be a cool story.
Okay. But then it's like, okay, what do you do now with R-Truth? You see how like a lot of this
Our next talking point.
you see how like once you do shit, the butterfly effect or whatever, like
Yep.
like when
It
you just
affects everything.
affects everything, bro. Like, so
Let's move R-Truth up to that point. Now, what you all think about R-Truth? I think it's being rushed. I don't like that he's already getting this fucking match with Cena. It just seems like, hey, let's capitalize on it. You're hot right now. Let's give you the match, and where the fuck you go from there?
I think that match ends in a schmoz. I don't think it's, you know what I mean? I think they're gonna probably move on to SummerSlam. There's gonna probably be like another match with them. They're gonna try to create a story out of it. I think it's gonna be a schmoz ending.
Everything is being rushed right now.
Yeah. Yeah, like hopefully they capitalize on it. You know what I mean? But
Do you think it's a smart move that they pushed this so soon? I mean, R-Truth came back 2 weeks ago, attacked Cena twice, and now he's got a match.
They should have built it up. They should have.
Right.
He could have done a couple run-ins on Cena. He could have jumped him in the back. They could have been, who's that guy? They could have played it off. They could have put Truth somewhere. Hey, now that we have Instagram, hey, he's vacationing somewhere else. They could have built up to this.
Well, they definitely have built for it. Like, I think, but like I said, it's gonna be kind of like the Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar thing, right? Remember right before like WrestleMania where it kind of ended, like they had the match on SmackDown, but it was kind of like a bullshit match or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't nothing. Kurt ended up beating Brock, and they still end up going to Mania. So it was good for the build and everything like that. So I think it's going to be something like that. I would assume, hopefully, this is not something they just rushed just to get this shit out the way. Like, that'd be fucked up on Truth's part. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that'd be really bad for Truth. Like, but I don't know. They're saying Trips wasn't feeling it. He doesn't like when fucking fans and everything take over creative like that. So
True.
he doesn't. He doesn't like when fans hijack creative and shit. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't. So maybe this is, I don't know. Maybe this is his way.
It's been happening for years. Remember the Daniel Bryan shit, the Yes movement?
Yeah.
That's the only reason he got in there. Vince McMahon said he didn't even trust him. He doesn't even eat steak. Like, how does a champion not gonna eat steak?
He looked well.
That motherfucker eats plants.
I'd still love how much Truth have signed on for with this extension. You know, if it's only a couple months, do the program with Cena, and then he can move on. You know, I'm just curious. Like, that could just explain so much more and like bring a little bit of a light to everything. But it's kind of like we're in the dark. We don't know. We don't know how long we're getting Truth for. So we don't know if this is going to turn into a long-term angle or if they're just going to blow it off after this. Maybe it's only like a few months of a fucking extension, you know? Maybe it's just like, hey, just give me a few months of extension. Let me get my name on TV. Let me get this program with Cena, and then you can let me go. Who knows? I don't know.
They haven't revealed the details of his contract.
No.
I mean, that's actually a good. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You want to leave mystery. You know what I mean? When it comes to pro wrestling, but I do feel as though, like, you know, I understand why he did want to go with the Ron Killings name and everything like that. It's because like he wants to build that name.
Yeah.
But now WWE is no longer referring to him as Ron Killings. They went right back to R-Truth.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
What the fuck was the whole point of the haircut and everything, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and the whole character change. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Sometimes you got to get rid of it. Look what it did for Ludacris. He got rid of his dreads. Sometimes you got to cut him out. And he needed a new look. He looks exactly what he looked like during the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
He did not age one bit. The Undertaker looks like he's dead.
Black don't crack, man. Black don't crack.
I said it.
Black don't crack. Hey, don't crack. We good. You know what I mean? We on 4K.
I wish I looked like I was fucking 18. I look like I'm fucking 90. Rock look like he's about to hit 90 and shit.
Damn. Damn.
Damn. Respect, Brock, man.
We age like fine wine, even though it hurts.
So I mean, we're going with Cody, basically, with King of the Ring.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I could see that. I don't want to go and just.
I know you want to say Sammy, but bro, it's Sammy versus Randy, and they're already planting the seeds. Like they've already planted the seeds. Like Sammy's like, after this whole King of the Ring thing is done, I'm going after you, Cross. It's like, okay, yeah. If you were going to be the King of the Ring, you wouldn't be selling fucking Karrion Cross. I'm coming after you next.
Yeah, your mindset is on the title.
Yeah, that's crazy how they just small that, but it's cool. Shout out to Sammy for actually helping Cross, like, you know what I mean, in that sense. Mm-hmm. Would you say like Sammy's kind of like the Bailey of the men's division, bro? I don't know if you've seen the Chris Van Fleet pod episode where Bailey kind of just revealed she's kind of like she's just a soldier. Like she'll just do anything. She doesn't ask questions. She doesn't.
Yes, I would say Bailey's a bigger star than Sammy.
Oh, of course. No. I'm just saying like the overall mentality and the approach and everything like that. Yeah.
Sammy reminds me of Jake the Snake. He can work. He can cut a promo. Can't be world champion. That's what it just comes down to. It sucks.
Yeah.
Great talent, but I don't think
he guy.
Yep. He can't go over that hump. He can't go over the mountain.
That's fucked up. Like that's fucked up.
At least he's not doing crap like this.
You're not lying. You're not lying at all. Like it's the truth. Dude, the Sami Zayn world title pop would be ridiculous, though. Like it would be ridiculous. I'd argue you probably get a bigger pop than Jey Uso, bro. Like,
yeah, definitely.
You know, but I mean that makes a lot of sense.
Saudi, that'd be nuts. In Saudi, that would be.
He's over in Saudi.
Well, and we're saying if he happened to win King of the Ring, go on to SummerSlam, win that title. And you're saying that pop will be big. Imagine in Saudi, it's going to be twice as big.
Yeah, they can sell tickets for 100,000, and everybody can afford them over there. They'll buy 10 tickets.
Bro, to see Sami Zayn possibly win the world title, like they would pay $100,000.
Yep. Let me get 10 of those motherfuckers. Front row. $1 million, no problem.
Oh man.
But they said they're trying to get more events. Supposedly, after this WrestleMania, which is going to be in Vegas again, they're trying to go to Saudi Arabia.
With Mania?
Yep. And then think about the money that they will get from just that revenue from.
I heard they wouldn't do a Mania in Saudi, but they do something like a WrestleMania Backlash rather in Saudi. They don't. I heard they don't specifically want to put WrestleMania in Saudi.
Well, they understand, like, you know, the possible backlash from that.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended.
Because you think about it, when WrestleMania does come, how many countries come to that event? You actually see it in, you know, you see the British flags, you see the Mexicos, you see numerous flags representing the country. Because hey, wrestling's all over the world.
Absolutely. I think it's time for Mania to be outside the country, though.
I would love to see Great Britain. Their fans or France.
Man, could you imagine that at the fucking Wrigley Stadium? Is it Wembley Stadium?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Wembley Stadium, or like the O2 Arena or some shit like that. It have to be at Wembley, right? It couldn't be in inside of
Dude, they would fucking blow AEW's numbers out of the water.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine? You thought AEW
the stands? Yeah.
They got 80, bro. AEW got 80. Like, they got fucking, that's a big fucking number, bro.
I bet Mania could do 100.
I think Mania could possibly do 100. I think Mania could possibly do 100. Even though they lied about the fucking Texas shit. Like the Dallas.
Hey, you got to go with the numbers.
Yo, they fucking lied about the Silverdome, too. Then they're like, WrestleMania 3 was a lie as well. It was like 70,000. They said it was like 93,000. Well, you know, there's no one to fact check them, bro, back then, so you could say anything. Like,
no.
You know what's fucked up about that? That's funny that Will Ospreay got that tattoo with the fucking number attendance. That wasn't even.
yeah, bro. Oh shit.
He was so pissed.
Oh god.
Thank God for laser removal. Shit.
That's some shitty tattoos. I got that saves. Jesus Christ. All that money you're making, Will, God. Yeah.
He's not even willing to come over to the States, bro. He still lives over in England.
Oh, is he?
No shit.
Yeah. He still lives over there, bro. He takes fucking flights back and forth.
Damn.
That dude's a maniac, bro. I'm like, yo, you definitely was the guy in fucking college that was biting bear cans, bro. There's no, you know what I mean? Like, he was one of them guys.
Been doing crazy shit, huh?
Yeah, you can tell, bro. You can tell. But damn, nah, I'm just, you know, all jokes aside, bro, he's for the grind.
Mm-hmm.
He's for the fucking grind. Like,
yeah, I like that dude. I think everybody from AEW, I'm a fan of that dude. Omega. And I'll always be a Jericho fan. I think those are my top 3 for AEW.
I'm a Jericho guy. I like Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
People don't. I think he's misunderstood, and the fact that like there's what has he ever done for AEW? I'm like, bro, MJF wouldn't be in a position that he's in without Jericho.
Yep.
Literally, Jericho put MJF over, put him over. Like, you know what I mean? But you can't. I don't know, man. Some fans you can't. If you can just look at shit from an unbiased eye and just watch pro wrestling for what it is, like. I don't know. There's some people, I don't know. If a guy puts you over, bro, that's like saying if Cena puts you over, it's up to you. How should I put this? It's up to you to step up, bro. Mm-hmm. After that. Once you get the TV time and everything like that, it's not always the bookers, bro. Sometimes you just fail to fucking meet expectations of what they thought you could be.
Ultimate Warrior.
Exactly.
Hulk Hogan put him over. I think that was like one of the first times Hogan was ever pinned in the ring. Put him over, couldn't do it, took off the title. They ran with Slaughter, Macho, and they had to put it back on Hogan. It's like, it's just like the football scenario. Hey, the quarterback can give you the ball, but you got to run with it.
And it was just, I think, like Shawn, in many ways, as popular as Shawn Michaels was, he wasn't drawing either. Mm-hmm. He was fucking gatekeeping. He was fucking up like results to matches. It just, bro, like after a while, like, he had, like, it's like Vince had a a fucking soft spot for him. But I personally believe that the whole point of the Steve Austin thing, bro.
I'm like, remember, they can see our hand gestures now on TV.
Oh,
Yeah, that's crazy, that rumor, right? But like, no, I think the whole reason behind the whole Steve Austin thing was because I think Vince was sick of Shawn, bro.
Yeah,
I think he was sick.
playing politics.
Yeah, he was sick of Shawn, bro. It was like the company wasn't moving forward. Besides the D-Generation X thing, I think the D-Generation X thing took off. It was the start of the Attitude Era and everything. But, bro, the whole point of you being a champion is to help put others over. Is to produce and put oil into this fucking machine. He wouldn't put nobody over, bro. He just gatekeeped like a motherfucker. Like,
he held back Vader, Ahmed Johnson,
Mankind.
I mean, think about there was a lot of guys in the early '90s that got held back because of Shawn. One of them was The Rock.
He tried.
Mm-hmm.
He
and
tried.
they told him, and The Rock had to come out, do his own thing. But yeah, he tried as well. He even got that character. Shawn refused to use his name in the Young Rock.
Right.
Chad Freeze or whatever. He wanted to name him Shawn.
But it's bad, bro. He gatekeep the fuck out of like that era. Like I was like, damn, bro. And they kept trying with him, and he just he kept fucking like remember the whole thing with he lost his smile type shit.
He got fucked up.
I don't think he wanted to lose to Shane Douglas, so he kind of like.
That's another one. Shane Douglas. He put him over.
Bro, he just would not do business. Like anything that involved like I guess when it came to like threatening his spot, at least that's what he said. He would do anything to like keep his spot, and it's just like, bro, I don't think it. Did you ever see when Undertaker said he came out and said it that I guess WrestleMania Shawn wasn't all there. They didn't know if he was going to put over Austin his hands, and he was backstage. He's like, and they told him straight out, "What are you going to do?" He's like, "He's going to do business. He will lose that title that night." Bro, he told him like, "You're gonna fucking move." You know what I mean? Like, he was sick of his shit, bro. He was sick of his shit too, bro. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, bro, you're gonna do business.
Yeah.
And I think he was like pilled out of his fucking mind that night too.
Yeah.
He was trying to. They seen it, and they were just like, bro, there's a possibility he might go out there and try to sabotage this man, bro, because he can do that. Like, Taker just, I'm gonna fuck him up if he does. Like,
too.
Yeah.
Now look at him. He's running NXT. How the Click has ran the world of wrestling,
bro. They did whatever. They're animals, bro. They savages, bro. Like, but I like I said, the shit that he did, like in that era, like towards the new generation era, or going into the Attitude Era, bro. The shit that he did, like he held up basically the entire company in a sense, like, and not when I mean held up, like he literally held up kind of like creative, and held up like, you know what I mean, like they just didn't move forward with him in front. I'm like, damn, Shawn was a fucking headache, bro. Like, there's a lot of people that want to fuck him up, bro, but he was around like all the other guys, bro. So I don't know. That's crazy when you got guys like that. Like they don't understand, I guess, like, I mean, I guess being champion means something. And I think like Bruce Pritchard was just like, you know, the title really has no significance whatsoever. It's the prop that helps move stories forward. Yep. You know what I mean? It's supposed to help build the next star. If it's needed. You know, but I don't know, man. The whole point of pro wrestling, I guess, is to help the fans believe, you know what I mean, in a product and help moving it forward. And then you got some guys who just don't like to do that, or you got some guys who like to politic their way into spots that don't belong in, and especially when they're too fucking old. Yeah.
Goldberg, damn, called it.
It's not Jericho. It's not Jericho. Like I don't. A lot of people think it's Jericho, and he doesn't contribute to. I'm like, that's bullshit. Like I don't think.
For every title Jericho's won in AEW, he's dropped it to another title.
Exactly, and it's crazy, bro. It's crazy that people even looking at it and I'm like, bro, if you have someone who's champion and they're champion for a while, you're supposed to hate this, especially if he's a heel. You're supposed to hate this motherfucker, bro. You're supposed to want him to lose. You're not supposed to want to see him. He's supposed to be an irritant. You know what I mean? Like, he did that. You know what I mean? So when he lost it, it meant something. Same way if Moxley loses, it's going to mean something. They're going to pop. It's going to probably break the internet when he loses. So, like, I don't understand how people don't see that, bro. They just, I guess they want things to just happen. But I'm like, yo, in hindsight, those fans make sense in a way where it's like, okay, you can be the smart that kind of just don't realize you're being worked. And it's just like, yo, we're sick of Moxley type shit. I'm like, yeah, you're supposed to be. Like,
yeah. You're feeding into that need of, I hate this guy. And guess what? Makes you tune in every week.
Exactly.
When is this guy going to lose?
Absolutely. And that's the whole point of it. Like, and I don't think like a lot of people are looking at it. I'm like, bro, like, I try my best to watch the product of pro wrestling. And of course you want to learn and stuff like that, like, you know, but it's like I try to enjoy it as much as I possibly can because I love the fact that like these guys are so good at their characters that most people making it seem like, oh, this guy just sucks. He's not good. He's not, character work sucks. He's this. I'm like, bro, if he sucks, why are you still watching? Like the ratings of their show has went up because people want him to lose. You know what I mean? Like, people want to see him lose. That's how you draw. That's called drawing. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, man. I think like really, really good heels is a lost art, and a lot of people just like to cheer the heels now. They're like, oh, it's just a really good heel. You can cheer for him, like, or cheer for her. And it's like, nah. You're supposed to hate that son of a bitch. Like, you're supposed to hate them. That's why I like Mercedes Moné, bro. Like,
fucking hate that shit.
Something for current events here. Let's get back to some current events.
Sure.
Over on the women's side of the King of the Ring bracket, we've got our semifinal matches of Roxanne Perez and Jade Cargill, and then Alexa Bliss and Asuka.
I think Jade Cargill gets that push.
she's about to go do
Out of everybody here, I mean, yeah, I don't see Roxanne beating Jade. And it's probably going to be Asuka in the finals. I mean, they brought her back night one. She got that win right away.
Mm-hmm.
I think Roxy makes it far though.
Well, she's in the semifinals. So this is her last chance to get into the finals.
I think she makes it to the finals.
Really? You think she's going to beat Jade?
Bro, she's been killing in these like little sanctioned matches, little gimmick matches and shit, and tournaments like the Elimination Chamber, the Royal Rumble, like, you know what I mean? Like, she's killing in Money in the Bank. Like, she's has like a little pattern going here. So like, also we don't know the extent of, a little bit off topic of Liv Morgan's situation. So
I got that's going to be the next topic.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that in the sense, like, you know, are they going to probably move along with Roxy a little bit in hindsight?
But I mean, they seem to be strapping that rocket on the Jade now that she's back. You know, they want that. She's got that built-in feud with Naomi and Bianca.
Starting to work a lot better too.
Yeah,
starting to work a lot better. I think like she's a power wrestler now, right? Like pretty much.
Yeah,
starting to work a lot better.
So it makes me think. I mean, if Jade Cargill wins, I mean, does she need the Queen of the Ring to go into these feuds? I don't think she does. But I don't.
Let's give her that notch, you know, like, hey, it's setting her up.
Yeah, it's just I don't know if they want, since they're building Jade so much, if they would want to have her lose to Roxanne, and I don't think a loss to Jade from Roxanne would hurt her. Mm-hmm. I think vice versa, maybe a loss to Roxanne would hurt Jade.
Not necessarily. I don't think so.
The new up and comer, she's not really in that spotlight yet. She's an intern for the Judgment Day essentially right now.
But I think like even with if let's say if Jade has a strong showing in the Queen of the Ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would kind of like still solidify her in a way. Because like even as I say, if she does lose to, let's say her and Roxy is in the finals and she loses to Roxy, like I still think it makes Jade look really strong. Like, just the fact that she was able to make it through this tournament and make it to the finals, you know, especially seeing how the tournament is stacked. You know what I mean? Also, she still has the program, I believe. I want to say she still has a program with Naomi and the whole Bianca Belair thing. So it's, you know, I do think like even if she makes it to the finals, it still lets her look very strong going in probably into SummerSlam or you know what I mean? Or, you know, like just I don't know what direction they're gonna go in with that. Like, but I do think even if she makes it to the finals, I think Jade would be fine. Even if she loses.
So if Roxanne were to win, would you have her go after Io?
Yes. That'd be a
That'd
banger
be good.
too. That'd be a banger. Like,
And then what do you do with Tiffany from there? I mean, Tiffany's not working. Straight up. She's not working. I don't know what they did with her. I mean, I do know what they did with her. They made her a babyface. They made her a babyface. Bully Ray brought up a really fucking great point on Busted Open the other day. He asked Dave, I'm going to ask you guys this. Is Tiffany Stratton a babyface or a heel?
Are you asking? I'm
asking you guys. Is Tiffany Stratton a babyface or a heel?
She's a natural heel, bro. She's a natural heel.
Now, her character, she's a
babyface. She's definitely a babyface.
What makes her a babyface? What about her character is a babyface?
You don't see her like slapping hands with the fans and shit sometimes? Like,
I mean, heels do that though. I see heels doing that.
When they put her with Charlotte.
You see heels like high-fiving fans?
I've seen heels walking down the fucking aisle and hitting hands. Yeah, I've seen JD do it. I've seen Carlito do it. I've seen a couple of heels doing that. Yeah. Legit. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it. Yes.
Haven't seen
I don't think Tiffany has any qualities about a face. A typical baby face. She does not come off as a baby face. She still comes off as that whiny, stuck-up, self-centered style heel, but she's being forced into that face role.
Yeah, you know who else is a stuck-up heel? Roman Reigns. Well, Roman Reigns is kind of like a stuck-up baby face as well. So, like, there's an argument there. So, like, I do feel like...
The fans were way behind Roman. Do you think the fans are behind Tiffany?
Yeah.
Really? I don't.
Yeah, I do. I think, like, in a sense, like, they see... Okay, so would you say Tiffany and would you say she's the Jey Uso case then? Like, in a sense that because she was on the rise at the same exact time he was. You know what I mean? So, like, do you think them putting the title on her the way they did?
I think turning her face, period. Here's the thing. With Tiffany Stratton, you turned her face against Nia. Great. Fine little underdog run. And then you throw her against Charlotte, and you have her beat Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go from there? She's like, that's the top. She's already hit her plateau there. She's the world champion. She's been NXT champion. She beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. What more do you do with Tiffany Stratton as a face? Like,
well, she's
completely changing that character.
I mean, you could make that same argument like with John Cena, because like John Cena was kind of doing on his rise to fame, and when they was building him up, he was beating a lot of people that kind of made it seem like, what the fuck do you do with him from here? Like, you know what I mean? So
he was U.S. champion before this. He had that rise. He had that slow rise. Tiffany has been in the WWE for what, 2 years, 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's already world champion. She's already beat Charlotte Flair. I'm just saying, like, where do you go from here as this famous character?
Yeah, but John made his
ceiling already.
You think? Yeah, but I'm looking at it like this. Like didn't John make his like main roster debut? I think in 2002
with Kurt.
Yeah, that was like in 2002, right? And I think 2007. That's 5 years, about 4 or 5 years into his run, he was world champion.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, like, I mean, you have Tiffany who won the Money in the Bank. So, like, I mean, like, and held it for a little while, but it's just one of those things where you kind of look at it and you're like, okay, it's justifiable in a way where it's like, there's really nobody more over than Tiffany right now before she was champion, prior to being champion, there was no one, like no other woman, I don't think that was more over. So it made sense in a way to make her champion. I do understand what you're saying. I think I would have drawn it out a little bit more. Just build it up a lot more.
I don't disagree with her winning the belt. I have no problem with her winning the belt. It's the character. I don't like the face character. She was doing great fucking work as a heel.
Right. I totally agree.
Like, is this like her real character? Is this what Tiffany's really like? You know,
I totally agree. But it's just like, how many women are heels though? Like, for the WWE and shit, they're just so flooded with like everybody wants to be a heel. It's easier. It's a lot easier. It's a lot more freedom. I believe, bro. I agree with you in the sense that her being a heel is just it's her strength, bro. That's definitely her strength. It would be a lot. The title reign would be a lot more believable. You know what I mean? Like, but the babyface shit it does come off as like how Roman was pushed as a babyface. Like, you know what I mean? Like when it's first the big dog shit. Like
they try to slam it down your throat so you like it.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where, like, I do think eventually Tiffany's gonna probably, and that's a big probably, like, she's gonna probably end up turning heel at some point. Yeah. I think the title, I think her losing to Charlotte would have been justifiable in a way. I would have loved to see Tiffany chase it.
Yes,
I would have loved to see Tiffany chase it. So I would have loved
to teeth into like shit. I lost the title.
That's what I'm saying. Build it up more. Just build that shit up way more. Like,
way more depth, you know? But it's like, okay, Tiffany, you beat the big dog. You beat the top of the top.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know?
Would you say that's like a Triple H call, or would you say that's a TKO call?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, because, like I said, super corporate, man. Super corporate.
Because of Charlotte's actions as well, leading up to that, you know, they probably wanted her to work with Tiffany. They probably didn't want her to bury her. I'm pretty sure they didn't want that to happen.
I mean, even if she would have lost, bro, if Tiffany would have lost, it would have never done nothing wrong to Tiffany. The fans would have just been more on her side, if anything. Yeah. They would have wanted, and it would have forced them to probably turn Charlotte heel. Even though Charlotte seemed like she was the heel going into that program. So, like...
Not a heel?
Who? Charlotte?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck Charlotte is right now. Like,
she'll always be a heel.
She said that little comment and with... I forget who it was, maybe Sam Roberts or something like that, where she supposedly wanted to get away from the glitz and the glamour, you know, I'm Flair's daughter, you know, that character, but it hasn't happened yet. So I don't know. Yeah. Maybe she wants that to happen, but obviously the WWE doesn't. Maybe that's what maybe it was. You know,
I think she's in a position right now more than ever that I don't want to call Charlotte I don't want to call her utility talent or nothing like that, but like she's definitely put in matches for the attraction, right?
Yeah.
She's not winning any of them. Like, so
surprisingly,
start power.
Yeah, she's putting people over, as you know, I think she's willing to do at this point in her career. But do you think like right now with Charlotte Flair, is it possible that she's an enhancement talent? It comes off that way. I don't think she is. Maybe she is. Maybe but she's not winning. Like, and a lot of the matches that she's in is a lot of fatal four ways and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's been pinned in any of them. Like,
that injury played a factor too. I mean,
yeah, the leg injury and everything.
She can't do what she did before. That's for sure.
No, the only one she's been pinned in is Mania. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're still trying to keep her strong.
But yeah, like you're saying, she's never lost herself.
Yeah, she's never lost her steam, or she's too big of a star, bro. Like I think it's just that at that point where she's just giving a lot of people the rub now. I think, you know, the difference, I think, with Rhea, didn't Rhea get pinned recently? Wasn't in that the recent match on Raw?
No. Rhea was taken out of the match by Raquel.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the whole whatchamacallit, the mix-up pin between Raquel and Liv and who else was it? Not Raquel, Roxanne.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. But it's just, I think they do, there's that point, I think, right now. Well, it looked like what they're doing with Rhea now. They got her somewhat being in a program with Raquel. Like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, which
they just
is interesting because I thought they were going with Bella's in Judgment Day. But now it looks like they might have to pivot on that because of Liv's injury.
I wonder how bad her injury is. I hope she's not
back to Jesus. She was on such a good roll.
Yep.
Like, I hope she's not super injured. I mean, a dislocated shoulder, like, I mean,
be 4 months.
You could be back. Yeah.
Keep it up.
Tops. If it's really bad.
The only way, like, you even like integrate her like back into like any sort of like her spot is possibly putting her in the Rumble at that point, right?
They could keep her on screen.
Like what? Ballet?
I mean, why not? I
would keep her on I would keep her on the site. Yeah, probably to Rumble, or maybe like the build up to Rumble or whatever. Or just have her be like surprising. She'll get the craziest pop. Like if she were to they let her sit out all this time.
So
but Liv's not gonna want to sit out, bro. Like I don't think, especially with her current spot in jeopardy.
So what? We're in coming up in July. So 1, 2, 3. So we're looking, if it's a 16-week recovery, we're looking probably maybe October, early November.
Survivor Series.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it did look like they wanted to build up Bella's in Judgment Day. Liv and Raquel probably going to give Bella's the fucking belts because they never won the belts. You know.
Is this? It makes me think though. Like, are they? Because it almost seems as of though, and maybe I'm wrong, that the current storyline they got going on with the Judgment Day, it almost seems as though like Liv's going to probably be turning babyface soon.
Yeah.
Because of Roxanne.
Because of the whole Roxanne thing, like her not being able to trust Raquel. I knew at some point they were going to probably have her chase the title again. You know what I mean? But I'm like, is it possible that they were going to possibly turn her babyface? You know what I mean? And
I don't think anytime soon because they just had her attack Nikki Bella. I mean, if they were planning a babyface, I don't think they would do that angle.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't like Nikki Bella.
Supposedly they're in talks with Brie Bella now, so you might get those twins back on TV very soon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looked like they were building up to that tag match, but those tag titles are cursed, man. Just get rid of them already. I swear, everybody who holds those tag belts gets injured. Somebody gets injured from one of the teams. I don't think there's been a single women's tag team that hasn't had one person injured.
Damn.
Give it up.
Damn, bro. But yeah, I don't know. I think like at the end of the day, it's they're in an interesting position right now, WWE. Like they really are. Like it's unfortunate to see Liv get injured. I think the next up would probably be Roxanne. You would have to thrust probably Roxanne in that position now. Build around Roxanne.
What if they go with Roxanne and Raquel?
It just makes sense though, because like once Liv returns, you kind of have like that you in my spot type of deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, on while Liv is gone.
Right. And
they could do something like, okay, Liv is injured, but Roxanne, let's have you step up and you can take her spot as tag team champion.
Right.
That'd be cool.
And then she comes back. Yeah, that'd be a perfect segue for her returning face.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like I think like at the end of the day, like it all ends with Liv pretty much kind of like turning baby at the end of it all. Because I don't think you can keep her. I mean, you could keep her as a heel, but like just the fact that they're trying to insert Roxanne into the Judgment Day, I'm like, okay, they're probably gonna end up turning Liv baby. That's what I'm.
They're not gonna have two. Yeah, they're not gonna have two females in the group.
Unless it's technically damn near almost like a female group at this point. Like, you know what I mean? So I mean, you could have like the female faction of the three, but it's just like one of those things where the only way it would ever work is if Liv's champion. With her, and I mean, you get Roxanne to get the rub from Liv or whatever, but I don't think Roxanne needs the rub. Like, you know what I mean? Roxanne definitely does, and you could tell they're pretty much like invested in Roxanne. They're definitely invested in Roxanne. Like, so I think right now, like if Liv's gonna be out for maybe 3 to 4 months, I think you invest in Roxanne a little bit more. I think you thrust Roxanne into the main. It's gonna piss a lot of people off, but you thrust Roxanne into that position. Maybe move up Lyra. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like one of those. I like the whole deal of Lyra possibly turning heel in the mid card. So, but I think like, and with the current storyline, you definitely build up Roxanne right now.
Yeah.
I can't honestly and truly, I can't really see nobody else at that point. Like, you build up Roxanne.
All right, guys. I think we're going to go with the last topic here of the night. That is Jacob Fatu finally turning on Solo Sikoa.
Long overdue.
I hate
Definitely.
Solo.
I think Jacob Fatu needs to break out by himself. Obviously, he was being utilized as that enforcer for the Bloodline, but I think this is his breakout now for him to actually go solo from Solo.
What you did there.
But yeah, no, I agree. But dude, like, you still like kind of have him with like another guy in his corner, or do you just have him just go straight solo? Like at this point, like a solo.
I don't think he needs anybody with him.
What do you
Well,
think?
you
The lone werewolf?
you got Tama Tonga, like who was pretty much with, you know,
Solo.
You bring
Solo.
Tama Tonga. Fair enough. I think he should come back and be with Jacob.
I think that's going to be Jacob versus the Bloodline now.
Right.
It's going to be, I mean, Hikuleo just had his dark match, so he's coming up pretty soon.
Right.
The Tongans have got to be coming damn near soon, be healed, right? It's been a while. I don't know how long.
It's a pretty good way to build up Jacob, having him go up against like the Bloodline. You know what I mean? But it's. I like what they're doing with Jacob. I do. I like what they're doing with Jacob. I can't wait to see what happens in the near future, like with him.
I just think Jacob needs to get a few more lines in his fucking repertoire, man.
Oh, a few more different
More
promos.
catchphrases, man.
He's
Jesus.
beating it to death, right? Like,
Yes, he is.
but that's the company, bro. The company's making him say that shit like over and over and over again. But I just, yeah, he's beating the gas, no brakes. He's beating it to death. The yada I mean shit's cool, like from the Bay Area and all that. Like, that's cool. But like, yeah, he's beating all that shit to death. It's crazy because he's such a good promo guy too.
Mm-hmm.
You just let him just go off the rails. Like MLW, just let him just go off the rails. Like, just let that dude just go off the rails.
So they're not going for a full out, like, straight up turn on him. I mean, they did, but they're still doing the whole, like, Solo's, like, trying to be manipulative, like, it's okay. I can forgive you. I just need you to say those words back to me. I love you, Solo. And all will be forgiven.
Oh, man. What do you guys think about Solo? I know we kind of had touched on Solo and everything.
Chris wasn't here, but what do you think about Solo right now, Chris?
He's stale.
Ooh,
Really? You think so?
Yeah, his time has came. He had that spotlight when he was the new tribal chief. He's old. His time has came. It's time to focus on new talent.
Surprising.
See, we were on Solo bandwagon. We've been loving what Solo's been doing lately. Have you been watching his show, like his character change? Like, he's getting funny. He's getting personality.
It's wrong, I guess.
Even Chris. That's another one.
Yeah,
I think need that side.
Solo Sikoa.
He made the list.
Shout out to Solo. Solo's killing, in my opinion. Solo's killing.
I can see Solo as a U.S. champ.
Absolutely. I think so. They're gonna have to do something with him. I think like he's definitely having a great run right now, especially with all like the freedom that he has right now to just like help that character evolve. He's such a damn goofball, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he could talk. He could really, really talk. And I was talking to Brock about that. I was like, bro, out of the three, like him, Jimmy, and Solo might be the best on the mic. Like, you know what I mean? Jimmy's pretty good. But like, I think like Solo, holy shit, like he has no fear on that mic, like whatsoever. So I mean, I'm not saying like right now you can probably, because he's definitely had his main event run. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I think it's definitely somewhat of a strong mid-card push for Solo.
Yeah.
Would be justified. Definitely him. I could see him as U.S. champion, eventually possibly taking that belt off of Jacob. You know what I mean? In some way, with Hook or Crook, of course. You got to keep Jacob strong. But like, I've been digging what they've been doing with Solo, bro. Like, I like the new Solo.
Chris, I know you fucking hate the Wyatt Six right now. Do you
Very
think
much.
the Wyatt Six Bloodline feud could do anything for them?
No.
Nah.
Like you said,
Or what?
without Bray Wyatt, there is no Wyatt Six. They're still trying to capitalize on his memory, which I get. You know, I mean, you want to live that character, you want him to keep going, but unfortunately, it doesn't work. You know, I compare it to the Ministry of Darkness. You need that Undertaker character to support, to build. They came in and within a month they lost traction.
I agree, bro. It's one of those things where you kind of look at it like, it's unfortunate because you see Bo really trying, but the unfortunate thing is Bo is not Bray.
He even grew out his facial hair to look like it, and his
really
hair. I mean, he can't.
Really
He can't
trying, bro. You
give it up.
It's unfortunate because you know whose brainchild that is. Like, you know what I mean? And shout out to Bo. Bo's doing some of the best work he's ever done in his career. I give it to Bo. Bo's busting his ass. But he knows. He knows. Like, bro, like, I'm not Bray. Like,
nope.
I'm not Bray. And it's unfortunate that he's getting the short end of the stick like this. But I think like I do think the Wyatt Six you can possibly salvage it in some way. I always thought like if you was gonna do anything with it, like you could have possibly brought it to NXT. You know what I mean? And
On a smaller stage,
right? Like, and then help build that, you know, build up that character, the Uncle Howdy character, and everybody else in that faction. You know what I mean? It's not like they can't have like meaningful feuds. Excuse me, with guys down there. You know what I mean? They can't. You know, but I just right now on the main roster, like they're definitely lost, and they're trying.
I like what you said. Put them on NXT because they can't bury none of the main talent. You imagine if they just kept every week beating Cody down, beating Jey Uso. Eventually, it's going to be like, okay, who are they taking on next?
Right.
What you said, put them on NXT, give them that smaller demographic to play with.
Right.
And it's possible. Hey, let them run amok, take people out, and have more focus and have more star power on them versus the main event where they got lost.
Yeah, there's not enough space, I think, in the main roster for them right now. I think like at least in NXT, you can have like Gacy and fucking Loomis go after tag titles. You can have possibly Bo go after like the NXT title. You know what I mean? You can have Nikki go after the women's side. There's room in NXT for them to work down there. So like, it wouldn't be a step down for them at all.
No,
it would actually help. Right, it would help. And you keep them down there. They're all young enough. I feel as though like you keep them down there for a little bit and possibly bring them up when the time is right. You know, but I don't think right now on the main roster it's not enough space to work.
No,
it's not. And this is why a lot of people keep getting released. They have too much talent. too much talent, not enough fucking time slots. You know what I mean? To even help build certain people. So I think like NXT would be the right move. It'd even have some of them go on Evolve. Like, you know what I mean? And tear shit up and Evolve and bring eyes to Evolve. Because they can bring eyes to Evolve. They can definitely bring eyes to NXT as well. I just don't want to. I don't want to see it fail. I don't want to see it fail. There's potential there, just not on the main roster.
Yeah,
just not on the main roster. Just send them to NXT, bro. You can even have them
now with the addition of AAA. Imagine that talent. Alberto Del Rio will make his debut on the main roster very, very soon. That is another talent. That's gonna come. You don't think so?
I fucking love nothing real.
You're telling me Alberto Del Rio has you'd rather see a Iguana Man or whatever his name on main roster than Alberto Del Rio?
It's money. Money. The Iguana guy, he's money. Mr. Iguana, I think. Huh?
So you know how much merchandise they're gonna sell with that guy?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's a full
video games. You name it.
He already has heat the fucking company though.
Who, Iguana?
Yeah, that fool's going out and fucking telling everybody in Mexico, I'm gonna go straight to the main roster. They love me. I'm gonna be a star. They're gonna make me a mega star. Blah blah blah. It's like
probably will.
Signed yet, bro?
He has
I take that back. Apparently, everybody who was on Worlds Collide is signed to a contract with the WWE. However, it is less than a developmental contract.
Fuck.
But apparently, it's more than they're making in AAA.
They got 1 million pesos. $1,000. We're set.
Vin Kingo, main roster, right?
Definitely.
Vin Kingo definitely on the main roster. He got 5 stars. Meltzer gave him 5 stars for his match with Gable. They killed in that match. They killed. Did you see that match, Chris? They fucking killed. Gable,
he never gives 5 stars.
Right. Fucking cheap. Bastard. Like but if anything WWE, he definitely doesn't. Like he refuses. The fact that I was like, okay, I'm very open-minded, right? But when he didn't give Sean and Taker 5 stars, I was like, both of those matches, I was like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, why? He gave him like 4.75. I'm like, yo, just give him the other quarter. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, what are you doing? But I don't know, man. Like, that's what kind of made me like be like, damn, Melts, like, you kind of, yo, he's still answering questions for that. Like, but I get why he did that. He's a master at getting people to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he knows how to stay relevant. So, and he's the biggest, like, bro, he's the biggest smart. Like, he's, you know what I mean? From like a monetary standpoint, he's the king. Like, yo, he's the king. Everybody that does this sort of shit is definitely, he's the trailblazer for this shit. Like, you know, I give credit where credit's due. He learns how to like just finagle like the business, bro, and turn it into like a whole thing for him. So, I mean, you got to give credit where credit is due. He's the ultimate fucking fan. He's just a fan. What he's saying is not gospel or nothing like that. He's just, you know what I mean? He knows how to get people talking. And his point system helped get him over. Like, so, you know, it doesn't mean he's not biased. He's definitely biased. Like, he's definitely biased as shit.
All right, guys. That's going to be it for this week's episode. Make sure to tune in next week. Anything can pop off in the world of wrestling. Returns, swerves, title changes out of nowhere. Who knows? But no matter what hits, the Wrestling Junkies are going to be here to cover it all. We'll catch you next week, guys. Follow Vision.
This ain't no kayfabe podcast show. This is Suplex Thoughts with a stiff promo. Stop popping the crowd to heat in the fed. We talk past, present, the blood, sweat, and dread.